Hey guys, I'm Kyle, and thanks for joining me. Metroid fans can rejoice. Nintendo has just released the Metroid 2 remake titled Metroid Samus Returns on the Nintendo 3DS. And even more exciting than that, Metroid Prime 4 is on its way in 2018. However, fans of the series are disappointed that Nintendo is locking certain features and content in Metroid Samus Returns to be dependent on their Amiibo figurines. This means that if you don't own any of the 4 compatible Amiibo figurines that work with this title, you won't be able to unlock things like a Metroid locator in the game's map, concept art galleries, and fusion mode. So today, with the help of my Android smartphone, some NFC sticker tags I purchased off eBay, and my Nintendo Switch, I'm going to show you how you can make your own Amiibos. Hi there, I'm Kyle, and I'm a 20-something living in northern Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati, Ohio. I like to do lots of fun things. Some of them are a little crazier than others, but I also enjoy building cool stuff in my spare time, and I love traveling to and exploring all sorts of neat and interesting places. So this is my life. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for being here. So just like my backlit Game Boy Color tutorial video before, I've included a timestamp link in the description below, which will take you past all this commentary I'm going to go into and take you directly to the tutorial part of this video. I've also included download links in the description for any files that you may need for this tutorial. In order to fully understand Amiibo and how it works, we first need to talk about NFC. NFC stands for Near Field Communication, and it's a technology that can be found in many electronic devices today, from smartphones to credit cards and everything else in between. What makes NFC so special when compared to other radio communication technologies is that along with wirelessly transmitting data, NFC can wirelessly induce electric current from an active NFC device to a passive one. Passive NFC components do not require their own power source to retain and transfer data, and information can be written to and read from these devices using an active NFC component, much like the one that can be found in your smartphone. Nintendo has incorporated this technology into their Amiibo products, which means they don't need a battery or any other kind of external power source, thus making them much cheaper to make. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Nintendo's Amiibo product line, these little plastic figurines have a passive NFC component built into them that when they're brought within close proximity of a Nintendo console that supports NFC and Amiibo, will unlock certain in-game features and content in certain titles. Arguably, Nintendo has a rather frustrating track history when it comes to their Amiibo products, with many consumers claiming that they're not producing enough of the figurines, thus creating their own artificial scarcity and encouraging online scalping and price gouging. And quite honestly, I kind of agree with them. If you look on online merchant sites like Amazon and eBay, even secondhand, these things are not cheap. Now personally, I love Nintendo, and I have a lot of great memories learning how to play the original Metroid, or the original Super Mario Bros., or Double Dragon, things like that. And it's especially exciting to me to see Nintendo reviving the Metroid series after such a long hiatus. However, in my humble opinion, the whole situation surrounding Amiibo is just a mess, and Nintendo could easily remedy the situation by increasing their production of these glorified chunks of plastic. Many feel that, time and again, Nintendo has shown consumers that they have absolutely no interest in changing their ways and increasing Amiibo production. To add insult to injury, many are upset that Nintendo would even consider locking people out of certain features in their games, requiring them to spend even more money on a title that already costs $40 to $60. Personally, and from a lot of what I've already seen online, I would say that the vast majority of consumers feel that these features should be available in their games without a paywall. So naturally, to protest Nintendo and avoid spending money on some pretty looking plastic paperweights, the internet has come up with an alternative solution. Why not just make your own Amiibos? The credit for this tutorial goes to Reddit user AJ Riddle, who wrote this tutorial on Reddit earlier this year. In the tutorial, you use the NFC programming capabilities of a recent or current generation Android smartphone or tablet to program a very specific type of NFC tag with information that can mimic the data that is found on Nintendo's official Amiibo figurines. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create an Amiibo tag that is compatible with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for Nintendo Switch, since I do not own a Nintendo 3DS handheld that supports Amiibo functionality. To find out if your Android smartphone or tablet support NFC, a quick Google search of your device's model name and number should help you determine that. In this tutorial, I'll be using my Samsung Galaxy Note 5 smartphone to program these Amiibo tags. Nowadays, most modern Android devices do support NFC functionality. However, some budget devices have opted to leave the feature out. Also, please be aware that there is a very specific type of NFC tag that you need for making your Amiibo tags, which I'll go into more detail about momentarily. Here are some last-minute important details that you should know before you begin. There are several things that you need for making your own Amiibos. First of all, you'll need some blank NTAG 215 NFC tags. These can be found on eBay or Amazon simply by searching for the keywords NTAG 215 tags. I purchased a set of 10 of these tags on eBay for about $6 with free shipping. When ordering NFC tags, make sure that you only order tags with the model number NTAG 215. Any other model of NFC tag, such as models NTAG 210, 213, or any others, will not work for making custom Amiibos. These NFC tags are only good for one write, and cannot be written to again after the initial write, so I recommend ordering more than one just in case you make any mistakes. It is estimated that these tags are good for about 10,000 scans each, after which they wear out and may no longer function reliably, if they still do at all. Second, you'll need an Android smartphone or tablet that supports NFC connectivity. My Galaxy Note 5 is running Android version 7.0, otherwise known as Android Nougat, so please bear in mind that some of the screens that you see me access on my device may look slightly different on yours. To my knowledge, there is no iOS support for this method, which means you cannot use your Apple iPhone or iPad to make these custom tags. Third, you will need to download several files: the TagMo app for Android, the locked secret and unfixed info binary files, which are used by the TagMo app during the tag writing process, and the binary file for an Amiibo figure of your choosing from the NFC Bank website. I've provided download links to these files in the description below, and you will find out more about these files in the TagMo app very shortly. And finally, it would be a good idea to have a Nintendo console and a game to test your new Amiibo tags with. In my case, I'll be using my Nintendo Switch and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for testing my custom tags. Alright, enough talk, let's get started. Step 1 is to turn on NFC connectivity. To do that in Android, there are two ways. The first way requires you to go into the device's settings. From there, you'll be looking for a section called NFC and Payment. Select that option to open it, and then simply flip the off switch to on. Now NFC is turned on. The second way to turn on NFC bypasses your device's settings screen entirely. Simply swipe downward on the notification bar on the top of the screen, then swipe down in the Charms section, and look for an option labeled NFC. If the icon is not illuminated, that means it's turned off. Click on it to turn it on, and you're good to go. For step 2, we will need to tell Android that installing apps from outside of the Google Play Store is allowed. This requires us to go back into device settings. Once there, look for a section called Lock Screen and Security, and select it. Once you're on that screen, locate the option labeled Unknown Sources, and turn the switch next to it to the on position. Now we are ready to download and install the TagMo app. The APK file for the TagMo application is available for download on the app's GitHub page, which I've included a link to in the description below. Once you're there, click on the TagMo APK file underneath the Downloads section to download it to your device. At step 4 now, there are two binary files that you will need to download in order to make your Amiibo tags work. They are called Unfixed Info and Locked Secret, and I've included download links to both of them below. Now let's head over to the NFC Bank website to download any of the Amiibo files that you want, free of charge and no strings attached. For this tutorial, I'll be downloading the Super Smash Bros. Link Amiibo binary. NFC Bank has an extensive collection of binaries from all of the Amiibo figures that Nintendo has ever released, both past and present, including the 2 new Metroid figurines that were just released recently alongside Metroid Samus Returns. Once you've finished with that download, you now have all the files that you need in order to make an Amiibo. Please remember that you can also download all of these files to your computer first, and then upload them to your Android device later on. Let's move on to installing the TagMo app now. Open the Downloads folder in the Android file viewer, where you'll find the TagMo APK file. Click on it to bring up a confirmation screen, and then click on Install to confirm. Be sure to allow the app access to the media on your device when prompted upon first starting it. So even though TagMo is now installed, we're not quite done setting up yet. Inside the app, we need to open the TagMo settings page, on which we will need to link the required binary files, unfixed info, and locked secret. Click on Import Keys to bring up a file browser, where it will ask you to select the files to load. After the binaries are registered in TagMo, click on the Load Tag button on the app's main page. The next screen may take a few seconds to load, since TagMo will be scanning your device for any Amiibo binaries. Eventually, a list will appear, from which you can select your desired figure. At long last, and after all of that prep work, you're now ready to write your Amiibo tag. Click on the right tag button on your screen and play. And that's all there is to it. You now know how to make your own custom Amiibo tags for use with your Nintendo games. The fact that making your own tags is even an option as a way around purchasing these things does soften the blow a little bit. However, while this does help cost-wise, it doesn't make the situation with Nintendo's supply problems any less frustrating. I want to thank you all again so much for being here and watching my video today. If you like this video, please consider leaving a thumbs up, and also if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please check out some of the other videos on my channel. I've done a tutorial video for a backlit Game Boy Color, and I also travel a lot, so I share about those experiences as well. If you want to see more stuff like this in the future, I'd appreciate your support by clicking the subscribe button below. Once again, I'm Kyle, this is Kyle's Awesome Life, and thanks for watching.